on these particular storms, because again, it's kind of in a little messy area. So we're going to stick with our Birmingham. We can see that heavy rainfall over Banks up towards Academy Park. But again, not really going to be seeing that tornado warning include the Highway 11 corridor. Just a lot of heavy rain right now from Cathy Junction, Academy Park, Vance, Highway 11, where it meets Interstate 20. But that carries you back into western Jefferson County, where we're getting a lot of heavy rain. I do want to point out right now that really the severe weather threat is ending west of I-65, or northwest of I-20, I should say, in Jefferson County, and west of I-65 as you move out of Birmingham up towards Gardendale. From Gardendale to Morris, your severe weather threat is coming to an end. So Gardendale, Kimberly, Morris, the rain has moved past you. You are in the clear, but the rain is upon you in places like Fultondale, Fairfield, and Birmingham. That heavy rain will continue. Next up will be Trussville down towards Homewood, Hoover, over towards 119, Hoover, Lee Branch, and Highway 280. So just be prepared. The rain is on the way. So places like Oak Mountain, Hoover Schools, it's going to get rainy, but right now the tornado warnings are sitting slightly to our south. And at this point, there's been no extension of the tornado warnings into either Shelby or Chilton counties. Doesn't mean that there won't be. There's some new info. Let me look at the National Weather Service real quick. Looks like it says a trained storm spotter just reported some wind damage there, and that is in Eutaw. So back in Greene County in the city of Eutaw, we do have some reports of trees and power lines down along Mesopotamia Street near Robert Brown Middle School. Say it could be a possible tornado, but we'll get some reporter out there to go check on that. Also, some damage reports coming in from both Hale County and Sumter County in the city of Livingston there in Sumter County and Akron. Looks like there is some talks of a tornado warning coming for Marengo County, although that's not necessarily in our viewing area. Just want to point that out as well. Tornado warning now in effect for Marengo County, and these thunderstorms, again, that's just a really, really ripe atmosphere south of I-20 down towards Montgomery from the Tombigbee River through Selma over towards Montgomery and into Tuskegee. I think that's going to be another corridor today for some very active weather. Gets a little less as you move north, but I don't want anyone to really let their guard down with this particular storm system today. All right, let's go back. I want to look at our base reflectivity here. Oops, let's do this. Our velocity products. So what we're looking at here, we're tracking the winds. We're looking for those kind of variations. We look at all these little pixels, and we're looking for these variations in pixels, brighter greens, brighter reds, darker reds, and where those come together is where we're likely going to see our best chance of seeing some of this activity. So let's do this real quick. I'm going to zoom out because a new mesoscale discussion just came out, and I think they're talking about extending a tornado watch for our southeastern counties. So I want to look at that, and we still have, and I want to revisit very quickly because what I've noticed near Greensboro is actually a nice little velocity signature. So let me zoom back down into Greensboro, and this is going to be the southern part of Hale County. This is actually taking my attention right now, so we're going to revisit this real quick. Look at this. So this is a new tornado warning too. That'll actually be for northern Perry County, technically outside of our CBS 42 viewing area. Our Montgomery partners will handle the Perry County side of the storm, but I still want to focus on the Greensboro storm right now. So this is just east of Millwood and Port Royal, but this is heading right towards the city of Greensboro. So from Greensboro down to Rosemary, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is along Highway 14 and Highway 25. This is crossing over State Route 69 right now. If you live anywhere along Millwood Road, if you live near, say, State Route 61, Highway 14, County Road 33, State Route 25, get to your safe place as all those kind of converge on the city of Greensboro and fan out from there. So near the city of Greensboro, please get to your safe place immediately. This is a serious situation here. Tornado warning. This is a radar indicated tornado warning, but let me put on our debris signature, see if we've seen any debris with this. Hard to say. Doesn't look like there's anything really popping out at me right now. doesn't mean there's not something, but just that return hasn't showed up on our debris indicator just yet. But going back to our storm relative velocity, all right, we've trimmed back the warning in places like Bird Eye, Forkland, and Millwood. You're in the clear now, but places like Greensboro, Rosemary, and downstream of that in northern Perry County, Morgan Springs, Heiberger, Ironville, get to your safe place. That includes Adler, Kerrville, and Folsom. So this is going to be the southeastern corner of Hale County. So that southeastern corner, there is likely a tornado has developed. We don't necessarily have ground truth of that just yet, but this is right over Greensboro. So tornado warning for the city of Greensboro. Get to your safe place immediately. There is good indication that this tornado is on the ground. This is a very well-defined couplet here. We've got those greens and reds mixing together. The only thing I'm really lacking here is going to be that debris signature. But let me look at our shear rate. So anytime that we have these bright greens on the map and these there's even a dot of red right there. But this is what we look for, this kind of light green shading that we see all through here. This would indicate some very strong shear. So the winds right now are really starting to pick up, and regardless of the rotation or not, this is going to be a extremely strong wind situation. But I do think things are aligning. Greensboro, I want you to treat this like a tornado. Make sure that you're putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest floor of that house. Again, stay away from windows. This is a dangerous situation. Potentially, so we want to make sure that you're as safe as possible as we are tracking this storm. All right, looking back, I want to show you this too. We do have history with this storm likely producing some hail, so we want you to be looking out for that as well, because the storm, not necessarily that it's going to be break the windshield size hailstones, but
County canceled.
Which one?
Bibb
County. Okay, Bibb County has been canceled. We were watching that broaden out just a bit, and that's great news because that particular storm system is going to be clipping southern Shelby and northern Chilton County in a very active time of the day. We're kind of heading towards that lunch hour right now in a busy part of our viewing area, but we do want to keep our focus down towards Greensboro, where we still have an active tornado warning for the city of Greensboro. We have an active, and look at all of this. So this is just a quick reset. Again, a lot of untapped energy in the atmosphere in South Alabama right now. Bibb County just canceled. We still have a tornado warning for Greensboro, southeast Hale County. That also includes northern Perry County. And then look down to our south from Linden. This is going to be southern Marengo County back into Butler and Quitman there in Mississippi. So the orange blinking boxes, those polygons are severe thunderstorm warnings. The red are tornado warnings. We have some new information coming in from the desk. We'll send it over to Ani.
Ashley, we're keeping an eye on these damage reports. We have them coming in from Winston County, Walker County, Sumter County, and apparently there's damage in Greene County as well. Joining us this morning is Corey Martin from Greene County EMA. Mr. Martin, how are you doing there in the county?
Actually, I work for the city of Eutaw.
Okay, city of Eutaw. Do you have damage that you can confirm in the Eutaw city limits?
Yes, we've got multiple trees and power lines down on Woodfield Avenue, Mesopotamia Avenue, Kirkwood Avenue. It's going to be in the same area affected as the last tornado we had, so we just asked people to stay off the roads and out of the area so we can clear some of these streets.
We hate to hear that, Mr. Martin, given that you had that. You mentioned the tornado in Utah. We saw such devastation there just a few weeks before Christmas. So do you have any injuries that you can tell us about?
At this time, we're still going house to house, but there is nothing confirmed injury-wise. There are structural damage. There are trees on houses, but cannot confirm any injuries, which at this point is a good sign.
That is a good sign. So for people who have not been to Eutaw, Alabama, are we talking about the downtown area, very close to, and many people saw that apartment complex that had the roof ripped off it in the last tornado. Is it in that exact same area?
I have not been able to get down there. It's kind of impassable. I'm on the side of Utah, right behind Love's at the interstate exit.
Right.
And I'm downtown, like closer to City Hall. I can't actually get over in that western part of town right now.
All right, that's just devastating. How are you doing with the recovery of the last tornado? I mean, certainly most of those structures still wide open, and I guess waiting on insurance claims and FEMA help and all of that, right?
Well, that's the thing. You know, when you're walking around and looking, it's hard to tell where the new damage is and the old damage is. If it's not in the middle of the road, you're not sure if it's fresh or not. But it is substantial, especially now.
All right, so just to recap, the damage that you're dealing with now is what you feel was caused by possible tornado, heavy winds. I know you all were under several tornado warnings there. No injuries, right?
As of this time, we cannot confirm anything.
What are you seeing? That is a great thing. What are you seeing? Are you on foot? Are you in a vehicle? Where are you right now, and what are you seeing just in front of you?
I'm on foot because it's impassable. There are power lines down, transformers down, there are trees down, there is building debris. There are trees on houses. I mean, it's substantial, but I don't believe there's any injuries.
I'm looking at radar right now. You're still dealing with a lot of rain, right?
It's not really raining very much where I'm at right now.
Okay. And folks are generally okay. We would love if we can keep you on the line here and get some information from you off air. Maybe you can send us some pictures for the folks who their hearts went out for you for the last tornado strike, and now you're dealing with it again. So we appreciate you. That's Corey Martin with the city of Eutaw in Greene County, where he is confirming, Dave, that they do have damage from the storms we were watching earlier. Going to Dave Nussbaum now.
Yeah, right now we now have a confirmed tornado warning here. This is for southern Hale County, Greensboro. This is for you. We are getting reports of at least Doppler radar confirmed tornado in Greensboro. That is southern part of Hale County. Tornado warning does go into effect till 11:15, but if you're in Greensboro, safe place now. This is a confirmed tornado warning now, at least from the Doppler radar, so indicating that we do have that tornado right over Greensboro. Kind of a closer look into this. We have some very significantly tight rotation here. You can see right over the heart, right downtown Greensboro, State Route 69, 25, County Road 33, Highway State Route 61, State Route, again, 25, 69, heading to State Route 14, right into Greensboro here. This is where there's circulation right over top of Greensboro. If you live in Greensboro, again, this is the far southern part of Hale County, safe shelter immediately. This is a tornado warning, a confirmed now tornado warning coming from the National Weather Service here with this right now. Let's take a live look right now in Greensboro. This is right now Highway 14 and Highway 25 we're hearing. This is an awning that's down. You can see here that looks like it's from maybe a gas station or something, but we are looking at, it is a gas station. But again, this is right downtown Greensboro. This is Highway 14 and 25 is right in the heart there of Greensboro. So this is where that is. Again, we have damage reported there. You can see, again, live. I don't know if we can take that full, if we can, just to show everyone here. But this is where that possible tornado is located here. This is Greensboro. You're looking at right now. Again, we are talking about that tornado moving through. You can see the red lights kind of moving back and forth there. Again, heavy rain. This will likely be a rain-wrapped tornado, but we have a confirmed tornado right over downtown Greensboro right now here. This is southern part of Hale County. Again, the camera's kind of spinning around here in a little bit, but you can see here, that is what we're looking at from the algo camera there. But this is where we're talking about. The storm moving right over Greensboro. We need to be in your safe place. If you live along Highway 69, 25, 14 out there, County Road 33, Highway 61, all in your safe place right now. Again, we have that tornado warning in effect here, and the storm is moving off to the east pretty quickly, just like they all have been. Right now, this is the only tornado warning we have right now, but kind of zooming back out here and kind of giving the idea, it is going to work its way to northern Perry County, just outside of our region here, but it's all part of that little cluster of storms. You can see here, we'll try to keep this up as long as we can here. This is the DOT camera down there. Again, this kind of runs at 30 seconds, then it kind of resets itself, and so, but you can see the McDonald's there right downtown. If you're familiar with downtown Greensboro, that is the storm kind of working its way through. Heavy rain. There you see that Chevron station. We're looking at that as well, too. And so that's kind of what we're dealing with. Downtown Greensboro. That is where the storm is right now. It continues to work its way off there to the northeast. So again, if you look here, kind of zoom in a tight lower, it looks like now we have a debris signature showing up from this storm. That'd be right here. Here's Highway 14. Right there. That is our debris signature heading its way toward Morgan Springs area there, heading toward Folsom. They're into, again, Perry County now, but still going to be moving in that direction. So it's come through Greensboro. It's now kind of right between Highway 14 right there and points to the north as you go, again, just south of Dominic. We're kind of working its way closer there toward Morgan Springs. Let me go ahead and put a track on here for you as best I can. And again, Brush Creek in the path here, 11:14. Pondville, we're looking here right around 11:30. In Harrisburg, they're going to be at 11:33. So this is just outside of Hale County here, but kind of working its way in toward Perry County. But the storm itself there, right over top of the kind of right between Highway 14 right now, and just kind of see the point to the north would be Highway 25. So this is it. County Road 33, it's right over top. If you moved on from there, County Road 7, there it is. County Road 7 kind of snakes through here. That's where it's headed. County Road 51, that's where it's going to be going here, and continuing on that track there to the northeast. As it does so, it's going to, again, just coming out of downtown Greensboro. This is the tornado. Here's downtown Greensboro. So we worked right over top of the downtown area there, and we'll continue on that motion there to the northeast. So as it does so, we're going to continue watching it here, kind of zipping through the parts there of southern Hale County and eventually on into parts there of Perry County. So and to go ahead and kind of zoom back out, that is the only storm, by the way, we're watching with a tornado warning. That's going to kind of clip there northern Perry County, potentially get into southern Bibb County if it holds together. So we're talking, here's Greensboro. That's where the tornado just came through. And we'll continue kind of south of Brent there, northern kind of Perry counties in that tornado warning. By the way, the tornado warning in effect until noon now for Perry County. But that's a confirmed tornado, so that does go into effect till noon for you in Perry County. Right now, though, that is the only tornado warning we have, but we have a confirmation on that one right now locally here. The rest of us dealing with heavy rain right down the I-59 620 corridor from Gadsden through Birmingham. And then Birmingham back down toward Brent. Tuscaloosa, you're in the back edge of the rain. Jasper, Fade, Sullivan, Hamilton, you're done for the day. That's it. The storms are gone. You're not going to see any more stormy weather. Maybe some drizzle and mist, but that would be about it. However, Anniston, Talladega, Sylacauga, Calera, Jemison, Clanton, parts of their Coosa County, Lineville area there, this is yet to come through. The longer it takes for it to get to your area, the greater chance we will see some strong to severe storms coming on in, because you have not had the rain to disrupt anything thus far with this so far today. And that's going to continue kind of moving its way toward your direction there. So if you're watching us out there in Anniston, in Talladega, in Lincoln area, back to Sylacauga, Childersburg, be aware as the storm moves off in your direction. It's going to be a little bit warmer, a little more humid than it is here in Birmingham, and points to the west. So there's a chance these storms could get a little more intense for you. Something we'll be watching closely to see. We hope that's not the case, but based off of the storms we've seen here in the southern part of this line, and this other one coming out of Bibb County now into Shelby County, that's definitely something we have to watch. This was the original storm with that tornado warning, now kind of its way on into far western Shelby County. Intense rain, heavy rain coming on in just south of Bessemer, McCalla area there, headed toward Pelham, over toward Alabaster, continuing its way back over toward Helena. This is coming your way out of West Blockton there, kind of just north of the Wilton. Expect to see some gusty winds, potentially maybe up to 40, 50 miles per hour with this one. You can see some of that stronger wind shear being reported here, not too far away from Helena. So again, no tornado warning with this one, but we are looking at still some heavy rain continuing to come in. Let's go ahead and look at the velocity products. No, we're not seeing what we did earlier, which is some great news with this, but still going to be heavy rain, likely some gusty winds with this storm. But by all means, the biggest storm we have thus far is this storm here coming just past Greensboro now. There is that tornado here showing up in the debris signature just to the east of Greensboro, kind of just south there, or rather north of Highway 14. And we'll continue on that track there over parts there of far southern part of Hale County and northern part there of Bibb County. It's kind of rural area, but eventually will work its way toward Highway 5. It'll be a while till it gets there. For example, we're seeing Brush Creek here, the possible tornado there at 11:16, likely in about, say, 7 minutes for you. Pondville, right, 11:27. Harrisburg, 11:30. Abercrombie there, 11:32. Brent, if it holds together that far, potentially around 11:35. So the storms have been kind of persisting as they come out of Mississippi and then going into western Alabama and then eventually kind of weakening just a little bit, which is good, but still have had a history of producing tornadoes out there. And you can see that's a live look at Greensboro right now. Weather has improved as that intense part of the storm has moved out of the Greensboro downtown proper and now kind of working its way off to the northeast there and will continue on into northern part of Perry County. So here's Greensboro. The tornado came through there and now it's kind of working its way off here to the northeast. Will be clipping northern Perry County, and that eventually will take its way on in potentially into southern part of Bibb County as well too. Let me go ahead and kind of show you here for Greensboro area. Again, the tornado itself has moved through, but still have that heavy rain right through downtown Greensboro. Highway 14, Sawyerville, Melton, back to Greensboro. Again, very intense rain continues to fall here, and eventually Brush Creek there to Morgan Springs, and that's what we're talking about with that storm as it moves on in. Still has that rotation debris signature showing up. It's right there, south of Dominic, south of Brush Creek there, just north of Highway 14, south of 25. That's where it's going to continue to move its way on in to the northeast there. So we have that confirmed tornado showing up with Doppler radar right now here, still in southern part though of Hale County, working its way on into parts there eventually of Perry County. So it's not too far away from crossing over the county line at this point, but we'll continue watching to see here how this will continue to move through. But that's the one storm we're watching. No other tornado warnings, no other severe thunderstorm warnings in the CBS 42 viewing area, but we still have that one storm. That's the confirmed tornado there. We'll continue watching this one here as it crosses kind of just outside northern Perry County. Ashley is barely just outside the viewing area, but nonetheless, though, it's going to be pretty close here to Bibb County if it holds together, possibly into Chilton County.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So I wanted to point out, too, we were just tracking a debris signature on this particular storm, and that debris signature right now, let's get a kind of a look on that. There it is, right there. This is over County Road 7, just to the northeast of downtown Greensboro, I should say, really more due east, slightly north, heading straight towards Morgan Springs, up through North Perry into Ironville. So right now, what we're looking at, so this is going to be moving, again, towards Morgan Springs along County Road 23, which is also Coretta Scott King Highway. So the Coretta Scott King Highway there that runs you through Morgan Springs. Go ahead and get to your safe place. Again, that's in Perry County, but I did want to point out that there is confirmation. We have had some feedback from the emergency manager in Hale County that there was video of the tornado on the ground. So if anyone in the newsroom can hear this, let's maybe communicate with the emergency manager there in Hale County, maybe try to get him on the phone, see what he saw, because he has some video right now of that tornado that was on the ground. So getting some confirmation on that at this point. So yes, there, and he said that it came from Greensboro, so video from a friend, and this would be emergency manager Mike Pratt. So if we can get in touch with Mike Pratt and maybe get a hand on some of that video. Debris signature still holding together. That would indicate, verify, and conclude that the storm is producing a tornado. So you'll see that polygon box has moved from that red to that purple. We'll start to show you this purple on the screen as a confirmed tornado on the ground, and we use that debris signature to make that kind of extra layer of confirmation. All right, let's talk about where it is right now. It's in northern Perry County. Again, this will be mostly for our viewers down in the Montgomery market, so we'll really let our Montgomery TV stations handle this, but I want to make sure that it's well into Perry County before we release this, because we still have some viewers right there on the northern edge of Perry County. We want to make sure that we serve you well here. So again, this is heading towards Morgan Springs, County Road 23, also Coretta Scott King Highway. We have Fellowship Cemetery Road, Bluff Springs Road, and all the way up through North Perry. This is going to be under Vitry Hodge Road. So just be mindful of this area. A little bit more rural, so we definitely have a lot more county roads in this area, but from Brush Creek, North Perry, Ironville, and Morgan Springs, this is a very, very well-defined couplet. That's where the red and the greens come together on your radar, and the green means the wind's moving inwards, the red's moving out, so that's the mixing. That's where we, generally we like to see the same color, we like the wind to move in the same direction. This is wind that's moving in different directions, indicating that rotation or tornado on the ground. Let me show you our debris signature again. Let's see if it's still holding there. It is. It's not really letting up very much, and that's what we've noticed a lot with these southern storms today. It's reaching a lot of that untapped atmosphere as we dive deeper into the day. The time right now is 11:14. The air is warming up. As Alex mentioned, the temperature there in our weather alert unit was around 70 degrees. And so that's very important to note. Let's quickly shift to some visuals. I do want to show you our BJCC tower cam. Do what? Okay, we do have a tornado warning now again in effect for Bibb County. So this is our Storm Team Tower Cam here in Birmingham. Heavy rainfall. We just heard a really loud clap of thunder at our studio, which if we pan the camera would be on the mountain. You don't have to, but that just giving some perspective as to where we are in relationship to the view here at the BJCC. Let's look at some of our other cameras right now. Tuscaloosa, you are going to see most of this heavy rainfall moving through right now, but the rainfall that you're seeing is not going to be severe. We just have a lot of heavy rainfall. We've been vacillating between seeing and not seeing Bryant-Denny Stadium, so the visibility is ebbed and flowed very much this morning. That's based on this intensity of rainfall, but intensity of rainfall does not always correspond with dangerous weather. It just simply means, hey, sometimes it's heavy rainfall, but today I want to point out with some of that heavy rainfall, we are getting rotating storms or tornadoes, and they're very hard to see. This is what it would generally look like. Even in an area that has a tornado right now, you're not going to see a very clear lowering. So if you do have videos or images of that, please send those to us at CBS 42. But in the meantime, we're tracking this. We don't want anyone to put themselves in danger, though, so don't go chasing these. We really leave that to the experts, and we tend to get a lot of that video from our emergency managers and local affiliates here. So, all right, so let's look at Summiton, because Summiton, you're starting to see things clearing out, and this is the calm after the storm. Summiton, you're done for the day. Storms are over. You're safe. You're good to go. But look off in the distance. Look at the back of this. Look at this. These are some interesting cloud formations here. This is kind of on the back side of the storm system, though. This is moving towards the city of Birmingham. So that's what we're tracking here. So this is our Summiton Tower Cam kind of looking south towards the city of Birmingham. And you're just seeing kind of some lowering there. But this is not a tornado on your screen, okay? That's just kind of a lower cloud. We have very limited area for condensation for these clouds, so we can get low clouds that form today just simply because based on where our condensation level is in the atmosphere, it's much lower right now for today. So that just gives you an idea there. Let's quickly pop over to Anniston, and then we'll hop down to Bibb County. All right, Anniston, gray sky off in the distance. Look how dark and ominous it's becoming as this line of thunderstorms is approaching Calhoun County right now, and you can just see the ripples on that cloud base. But again, a very distinctive cloud base there in Anniston, but not seeing the rain just yet. Etowah County, this is a live look in Gadsden. Rainbow Drive, heavy rain is falling right now over Rainbow Drive. All right, let's go ahead and reset back to our radar. Still want to keep an eye on things because the same storm that we've been tracking that's moving out of Perry County, we just have a warning that was issued for Bibb County. So let's look at where this warning is. We'll do a quick reset together. So we're still monitoring the storm out of northern Perry. We'll hold on to it. Of course, now Bibb County is in the warning box, so we're wanting to stay on this particular storm. This is likely to be moving towards Ellards along Highway 5. Next up will be Abercrombie. We now will include Brent. Our previous tornado warning for Bibb County was the northern part of Bibb County. It did not include the city of Brent. It does now, but now West Blockton, you're not in the threat zone. All right, so we still have our debris indicator on there. It looks like, actually, can we hop over to Alex real quick and see where he is? Look at that rain that's falling. I believe that's our weather alert unit. Shelby County, looks like that might be along, is that Highway 14? Alex, can you hear me? Are you in the weather alert unit?
Actually, we're at the, we're at the promenade right now, and we're getting hail.
You're getting hail,
it seems to
okay.
be fairly small at the moment. Small at the
Oh, I
moment.
can hear it. Look, you can see
trying
it.
to see it bouncing. But some smaller hail falling here. It looks to be generally pea-sized at the moment, but getting this and some stronger winds pushing in. So we're about to get on I-65 to head down towards eastern Bibb County and get onto that tornado-warned storm. But this storm, not severe, but certainly packing a punch here in Alabaster. The winds are picking up. We've got some gusts now around 20 so far, is as high as we've gotten as this sort of line moves through. Some small hail, but again, the concern right now, at least in central Alabama, Perry and Bibb counties for that tornado warning. But we're going to go get on that storm as it approaches eastern Bibb County and let you know what we see there. But for now, not necessarily severe, but not exactly great weather currently in Alabaster.
It is severe. All right, Alex, it just trended severe, so we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for that storm right now. So that's going to be right over Shelby County. That's exactly where Alex is right now at Alabaster, where the promenade is there at that exit. So just be mindful. You see how heavy the rain is, and let's keep this double box up with our weather alert unit. They're in Shelby County, again on I-65. Let me quickly zoom into them. Just a real quick recap. We're still tracking the storm moving out of Perry, heading into Bibb County. If you live in Brent or southeast, get to your safe place. But if you're in Shelby County, let's treat this like it is a significant storm. It is because let me put on our reflectivity here. That's kind of the best thing to use to analyze these severe thunderstorm warnings. So we're seeing not only that very heavy rainfall, but some extreme winds there on the leading edge. I can do just a kind of a quick analysis here in real time for us. Let's just kind of see what some of these winds are. So again, these are lofted winds, but wind speeds are anywhere from 30 to 50 miles per hour in the upper levels. So that's going to produce some significant winds. Even down at the lower levels, we could get 25, maybe close to 30 mile per hour winds that are being brought down to the surface. So that's a look at the winds. No rotation, though. I've noticed in my severe thunderstorm, or in this severe thunderstorm polygon as I'm analyzing this, I'm not seeing any rotation with any of this, but it is going to produce some locally heavy rainfall in a short amount of time. And that, my friends, is why we have the rain rate button here, because let's look at these rain rate values. I bet they're pretty intense. So along I-65 is where Alex and team are right now. Let's look at these rain rates where you see these bright purple. So Helena, 7.2 right over I-65. So what this shows you, here's what the rain rate is. If you had this much rain that fell for a duration of time equaling an hour. So if this much rain fell for an hour, you would get 7.2 inches of rain in that rain bucket. Now, the storm system's moving, so it's not going to rain at the same intensity for that period of time. But if it did, so that's how we calculate the rain rate. It's the rain that's falling over a period of time. So this is what it would be. But putting that in perspective, if that was to happen, 7.2 inches per rain would be the equivalent of how much rain we get in a couple of months here, not how much rain we should be getting in an hour. So this could cause some brief ponding on roadways and some minor localized flooding. Not going to be a widespread flooding event by any stretch, because once the rain comes to an end, that water will be able to run off quickly. My biggest concern is hydroplaning on the highways. That's going to bring up a little bit of the oils from the roads. It's going to create some very slick spots on the interstate, so just be careful while you're outside. Right now, the heaviest rainfall does look like it's approaching that I-65 corridor, basically along south of Alabaster down towards the southern part of Shelby County, quickly entering into Chilton County. All right, let's go back. So that's our rain rate situation right now. Let's look at our reflectivity again, and this is where we will, of course, see how heavy it's raining. Let me zoom back out. Just give us a quick reset. So this, what was that? Okay, severe thunderstorm warning right now is moving from Alabaster towards Westover. So we've got some heavy rain along Highway 280. So if you're in Chelsea, you're going to get some heavy rainfall down towards Harpersville, Westover. Again, in the severe thunderstorm warning, that will include Childersburg. This lines up again where we were talking about that severe weather potential from yesterday, possibly moving into portions of Talladega County, that 280, 231 corridor. Severe thunderstorm warning also includes just north of Columbiana there. Calera, you're out of this, but it is going to be a messy, rainy situation. In Calera, you're actually sandwiched in between the severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning. So I would treat the next hour with just some serious caution. Make sure that you're keeping it tuned into CBS 42, listening to one of our radio partners like Talk 99.5, or also following us on our web or our app. So we have continuous coverage there. All right, so the big story, kind of two big areas of interest. One, the confirmed tornado moving through Perry County, heading into Bibb County. So if you're anywhere from Brent southward, I would say just north of Maplesville, although Maplesville, you're not included in this tornado warning, that northwest corner of Chilton County. I would just be watching very closely, giving yourself enough time to make some quick decisions if you need to. So just go through that plan, because what we've seen is county by county, from the start of this storm in West Alabama, we have seen every single county warned for from west to east so far. So just projecting here, if that ripple effect continues, there is a good chance, a high probability, that there will be a storm somewhere in Chilton County that may get warned for as tornadic. So just keep that in mind if history repeats itself through the next couple of hours. So currently, let's talk about Jefferson and Shelby counties, because if you live in Jefferson County, even though it might be raining on you, your severe weather threat is over. That main line that would carry with it the biggest threat for thunderstorms, spinning thunderstorms, it's over. So you're just talking rainfall. So Birmingham up towards Fultondale, just some rain. As we slide up Interstate 22 towards Jasper and Summiton, threat is over. No more threat for you today. Oakman, you're done for the day. Down towards Gorgas, down towards Beacon Point, Huntington Place, you're done. That's along Highway 43 from Fayette, essentially down to Tuscaloosa. You're done. There's some heavy rainfall over Tuscaloosa right now, but largely that tornado threat has come to an end for Tuscaloosa County. The tornado threat has moved east, and it's still staying considerably south of Interstate 20. Now it looks like it's inching closer to I-65, so our southernmost counties, places like Chilton County, Coosa County, Bibb County, Southern Clay County, I think even Talladega County, you're still in the running for some tornadic activity through the afternoon. Tornado watch has been extended to include most of East Alabama, which I do that very quickly. So our current tornado watch now includes Calhoun County all the way down through Coosa County, including Talladega County, and then, of course, our Montgomery market down there, and it slides all the way up towards Gadsden, Etowah County, and north. But notice we've trimmed off the back counties, so no longer is Walker, Winston, Marion, Fayette, Lamar, or Pickens County. No longer are you in the threat zone for this, and it's a good chance that they're going to start trimming off Tuscaloosa, Jefferson, Blount, and Coleman County here, probably within the hour. So we'll be watching for that very closely. But in the meantime, of course, we're tracking a tornado warning for both Bibb and northern Perry County. So that's something that we're going to be watching very closely. So those are our tornado watches currently. Let me show you over the next hour where we think these storms are expected to move. So between now and 12:30, so the time is 11:27. So currently we've got heavy rainfall from Alabaster all the way up through Gadsden. Over the next hour, places like Calera, Pell City, Gadsden, moving into Jacksonville, over towards Talladega County, Winterboro, down towards Columbiana. That would include cities like Indian Springs, probably within 20 to 30. It's happening right now for you, but anywhere along Highway 119 over towards Chelsea. So from Chelsea to Westover, Harpersville, these are all cities that will be impacted by this rain within the next 60 minutes. Pell City and Moody within the next 30 to 40 minutes, but by the time this hour ends, we're going to start to see clearing skies, and Aniana, Coleman will be out of it by 12 o'clock, so that's some good news. But all of this will start moving into East Alabama within the next 60 minutes, so we need to remain weather aware through the afternoon. Ani?
Ashley, there's an urgent message that we were asked to give parents of students in Eutaw. Now, this is from Corey Martin. We interviewed Corey Martin with the city of Eutaw not too long ago, and he said he can't tell the new damage in Eutaw from the old damage from that EF1 that hit the end of November. So let me read this to you. Parents at Robert Brown Middle School need to stop trying to get their kids out of the school. Don't approach the school. They have power lines down. They want everyone to know that the kids in the building are fine, that they're safe. But some of those power lines down are live wires. They don't want people getting tangled up into that. They will not be releasing the kids from school early today because it is unsafe for them to leave the school. And they just ask everyone to avoid the area. And again, do not go to the school to try to get your child if you have a student at Robert Brown Middle School in Eutaw, Alabama, because it's simply too dangerous. You know, you and I were going over the damage reports, and you were watching it in real time, too. This is trees and power lines down along Mesopotamia Street near the middle school. possible tornado. And this lines up with what you all were watching on radar.
Yeah, we've seen that tornado debris signature that came across from Sumter County into Greene County, into Hale County. We're still watching it. What's left of it now is no longer tornadic, thank goodness, but it's into Alabaster with some hail, a lot of hail reporting down in Alabaster, the promenade. Alex Puckett was there just talking about that. That'll continue across Shelby County, headed toward the Chelsea area, so get ready for some heavy rain and hail with that one. Further south, we're still watching another storm with a confirmed tornado. This one's going to move out of northern Perry County into southern Bibb County. This one, again, has a confirmed tornado with it as well, too. That is the more southern storm, and that one's, the shape of it on radar is kind of concerning, meaning it's getting pretty intense looking, and this one may persist for a while here. This one's going to move into, again, southern part there of Bibb County. So Brent area, if you're watching us there, you need to be aware that is the storm that's going in your direction there. We do have that confirmed tornado warning that is in effect until 12:15. So that's the one we're continuing to watch there, and you can see we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in parts there of Shelby County as well, coming out of Alabaster, no longer in it since the storm has passed, but now working its way closer to Chelsea and heading its way over eventually toward the Vincent area. Childersburg may feel this as well, too, as you get into Talladega County there, but by all means, the main storm we're watching is this one here coming into Brent area there that has had significantly strong rotation with it. You can see here, and that's what we're watching here for the storm as it gets on its way there off to the northeast, and you can see we've had a debris signature with this one as well, too, for a while, and that one continues to work its way toward Harrisburg. So if you're watching us down there, this is now going to be moving on into parts there of southern Bibb County. So Harrisburg, Abercrombie, Brent area, Vic, those are the areas we're talking about. Pondville, this is working its way really close to the Brent area. So Highway 5 corridor, Highway 82 corridor, Highway 25, all that intersection right there. This is where it's going. We just took another lightning hit to the tower here. Many of you probably just heard that. We actually heard the little sizzle in the studio. That's kind of nerve-wracking. But nonetheless, though, again, a lot of lightning with the storms. This is the main one right now. If you're watching in southern Bibb County, you need to take shelter immediately there from Brent, Harrisburg, Abercrombie, Vic, back to 6 Mile, Ashby area there, back to Antioch.
Can I say this one more thing before we talk to Michael? Again, from the city of Eutaw, anybody needing shelter, we're assuming there's some significant damage to homes and that sort of thing. You can go to R.H. Young. Again, this is in Eutaw in Greene County. So insult to injury. Still not at all recovered from the first tornado back in November, and now apparently we're here again for those folks.
And we're not done yet. We still have eastern Alabama to have these storms come in through. Hopefully not what we're seeing so far to the south, but for more on that, let's send it over to Michael.
Yeah, with that storm in Shelby County near Chelsea, we have a report of golf ball size hail. That severe thunderstorm warning now in Shelby County. Chelsea, right there along 280, we have golf ball size hail. And even if you're not under a warning right now, we still want you to take it seriously because you just heard that lightning strike just outside the studio here. We don't want you outside with that lightning around. But the National Weather Service becoming more and more concerned about this tornado warning, this likely tornado now in Bibb County. It's tightening up. It's looking very impressive. So Bibb County, you have to be in your safe place. The southern part of Bibb County, that includes Brent. And right there from Brent and points just east of there, and the southern part of Bibb County. So the National Weather will continue this tornado warning. It is a considerable threat. This is the latest information coming back in from them. We're getting so this will include the Brent storm. This is coming out right now. As of 11:32, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 7 miles south of Brent. So the National Weather Service now saying a large, extremely dangerous tornado. That's the wording that they are using at this point. Located 7 miles south of Brent, and it's moving east at 50 miles per hour. So this is moving on very quickly. You don't have a lot of time to get in your safe place. So in the southern part of Bibb County now, Brent, back along Highway 25, Highway 82, Antioch, Bob Mill, Randolph, active, Harrisburg, this entire area, Abercrombie, your safe place now, the smallest room, lowest floor, away from all windows. Now is your time for action, and you need to do it at this point. We have a large and extremely dangerous tornado right now being confirmed by the National Weather Service in southern Bibb County. And keep in mind, even though Chilton County, you are not under a warning right now, if this does hold together, Chilton County will ultimately be included in a tornado warning. But as of right now, that warning for Bibb County, Brent, and the eastern part of Bibb County, not including West Blockton, but the
that entire area south of Calera. Of course, got Calera in Shelby County, but keep in mind, if this continues to hold together, moving up to the east and the northeast, Chilton County and Shelby County could eventually be included in this tornado warning. So this is a very dangerous situation in the southern part of Bibb County. As I look now from the National Weather Service, they do have a PDS now issued for Bibb County. So just letting you guys know, this is a PDS. This is a very dangerous situation now issued for Bibb County tornado. And we had an emergency manager earlier. We don't have the video, but he claims that he does have video, or he saw a video of the tornado moving through Greensboro just a little while ago, as this is that exact same system. So southern part of Shelby County now, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. So Shelby County under a severe thunderstorm warning. We have large hail in Chelsea, and look at all this lightning that we have ongoing.
Hey, Michael,
hopefully
let me pop on real quick.
Okay,
There's this debris signature is very impressive, probably one of the best we've seen all day. This is the reason for the PDS. That means particularly dangerous situation. Abercrombie, get to your safe place immediately. Likely a large violent tornado on the ground right now entering into Bibb County. This is going to be along County Road 51, Hickory Hollow and Selma Road. Get to your safe place if you're in the city of Abercrombie. Now, this is going to be just to the south of Centerville, but I would suggest that anywhere from Harrisburg up towards, say, Brent, go ahead and get to your safe place. And what's interesting about this is an almost identical track that we saw from the storm a week ago. We were talking about these exact same towns like Abercrombie, Active, Trio, Antioch, Vic, and Brent, all really in the same area. And we just heard from Hale County that this took a similar path, and now it's hard to determine what damage was from the storm prior versus the storm today. This is a very serious situation. We want to urge all of you to take action immediately. This is not a time to outrun the storm or to even try to go get your kids from school. They are safe. They will be safe in that school. So just make sure that as long as the school is getting them to their safe place, getting them to the center of that building, and for anyone, get to your safe place. Get to the lowest floor of your home or building. Get to an interior room. Get to a place that does not have windows, and make sure that you are following these proper precautions. If you have time, downstream of this, places like Vic, Trio, Active, Randolph, Bibb Mill, Antioch, make sure that if you have time, okay, Chilton County now in that warning, and that's exactly what we were talking about before, is there's just been this ripple effect of these storms. So from essentially Ocampo, Jemison, Thorsby, and Lomax, you'll be included in this. It takes just a second for it to pop up on our map. There it is, right there. So Jumbo, Jemison, Ocampo, right along I-65 and Highway 31. Go ahead and get to your safe place. There's plenty of time to get there. Do so. If you can grab something to cover your head, helmet, baseball helmet, football helmet, whatever the case may be. Rubber-soled shoes, tennis shoes are great. Something that's closed-toed, grab shoes, just in case there is damage, in case there is any power outages, power poles down, live wires. You want to make sure that you're protected as well. This isn't just for the storm itself, but it's the aftermath too, okay? So let's make sure that we're all just taking proper precautions here. Now, this storm system is sitting south of I-20 at this point. There is still a severe thunderstorm warning. That does include the eastern part of Shelby County. So let's revisit our base reflectivity very quickly, because I want to show you where the heavy rainfall is, kind of who's in danger, who's not. Right now, our biggest threat is going to be Bibb County into Chilton County. That is our greatest threat, but there's also significant rainfall, strong winds right now in eastern Shelby County. Here's the good news, though. It does look like the severe threat has pretty much ended along Highway 280 from Lee Branch up through really Homewood. So anywhere along Highway 280, places like Iron Tribe 280, all the way up to the summit, you're clear. You're getting some rainfall, but you're not going to be seeing that dangerous severe weather threat. That is now moved to your east. So down Highway 280 from Chelsea, Harpersville, Vincent, even over Logan Martin Lake right now, approaching the Logan Martin Lake Dam, and then eventually on into Alpine. That's where they'll be seeing that heaviest rainfall and strong winds. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Talladega County. Actually, brand new severe thunderstorm warning, just as I said that, crossing over Logan Martin Lake, places like Alpine, all the way up to Capri Island, Pell City, Lincoln. You're included in the severe thunderstorm warning. Downstream of that, Mumford, Hopeful, Chinabee, and Talladega. So anywhere from Alpine all the way up through Lincoln right now, go ahead and just take proper precautions. Severe thunderstorm warning, strong winds, heavy rain, and the likelihood of some golf ball sized hail. This is a serious situation, but this storm system now moving east of I-65 in northern Shelby County and in Jefferson County. So if you live north of Alabaster, Pelham, Indian Springs, you're clear. No more severe weather. You will be getting rain, but the severe weather threats ended. I'm going to jump back down to the storm down to our south. This is the one that needs some urgent attention based on what I'm seeing on our reflectivity here. So let me go ahead and track this. Here's our storm relative velocity on this storm system. So currently, this is where we are seeing some of the most impressive reds and greens on the map there. Confirmed tornado on the ground. Again, this is going to be in Bibb County, just to the east of Abercrombie along Haley Drive. If you can hear the sound of my voice and you live in southern Bibb County or northern Chilton County, get to your safe place. If you live along Martin Road, County Road 29, City of Tabernacle, Maud, Active, Lawley, get to your safe place. Trio, this is along Highway 82 in Bibb County. So this is going to be just south of West Blockton. So West Blockton, you were in the warning earlier. You are no longer in the warning. If you hear the sirens going off, this is for the southernmost part of Bibb County. You can see the polygon blinking in purple. We go from purple we go to purple from red when it goes from a tornado warning, which is a radar indicated tornado, to a confirmed tornado. We now have a new color on our map to give that distinction that we say this is absolutely a tornado on the ground, and it just really reinforces the urgency. We want you to take a tornado warning seriously, but if there's any way that we can just help encourage that urgency, that's what we're trying to do right now. This is a serious situation, likely a long track tornado, possibly the wording from the National Weather Service, possibly a violent tornado. We have issued this as what's called a PDS, a particularly dangerous situation. This could be a life-threatening situation for those that do not take this seriously. We want you to really make sure that you're trying to do all you can to get to your safe place. Let's talk about this. All right, from Ashby down to Cox, go ahead and get to your safe place. Maplesville, you won't be in this, but I want to mention, if you have time from Cox, Bibb Mill, Oakley, and Ashby to get to a site-built structure, a storm shelter. I do not want anyone to be in a mobile home or manufactured housing, if at all possible. Even if that means a drive down to a convenience store, Dollar General, Walmart. Just get to a place where you can be in a more solid structure right now. We want you out of a mobile home. We want you out of manufactured housing. This is a dangerous situation. There's going to be flying debris. There's going to be strong winds. Let's look at our debris tracker real quick. Let's see here. There we go. Let's pop that back up. And there we go. Let's see. It's I think it's being overworked today. Let's try this again.
You tossed to me, Ashley. I have it up over here.
Okay,
if that
Dave.
works. If that works easier, give the computer a breather for a second. And we work these computers, which they're meant to be worked well, but again, when severe weather pops up, they can get really finicky at times. This is another look at. There is our tornado here showing up in the debris signature. You can't miss it right now. It is very intense, and we have a significant debris from this. Let me go ahead and show you the areas we're watching. If you're in Tabernacle, 1148. St. Few and Trio, Maud around 1150, Antioch 1151, Randolph there 1154, 1156 Tucker to Bibb Mill, Campbell there 1158, Pleasant Grove around 1201. Again, this is the southern one, not the one up to the north here. Wessington around 1206, Jemison, Thorsby 1207, 1208. Yes, this is now expected to work its way into Chilton County, so it's still in Bibb County, south of Vic right now, working its way in these areas. If you're in one of those cities I've mentioned, you are in the path of this tornado, and it will continue on that track here, kind of working its way eventually here across Highway 82, which it's already crossed part of 82 in a different area, believe it or not, earlier in the day today, but making another pass at that and heading its way further off to Highway 5 and then beyond here as we go on in, possibly all the way there to 31 and Interstate 65 corridor if it holds together. So definitely something we're keeping an eye on here. But that is the tornado here. Intense rotation with this, a large, what we call supercell thunderstorm, a rotating thunderstorm. And this is a kind of a bigger perspective of what we have here. This is the tornado. This is the debris ball, as we call it in the past there, just south of the Vic area there. The main part of the storm off to the north, Ashby area, 6 Mile, Vic. You have heavy rain, hail coming on in. Eventually that'll work its way to Montevallo. Montevallo, you're not in the path of the storm here, but you will have heavy rain and some hail. But again, Trio, Antioch, Active, Randolph, Bibb Mill, Oakley, Ashby area there, Campbell, Pleasant Grove, possibly Calera, Ocampo, Jemison, Thorsby. Yes, we need to keep a close eye on this to watch and see where this system is moving. It has been moving pretty quick. You can see this is it right here. This is that debris ball kind of sticking out, that little thumb, if you will. And that's what we're looking at here from this storm. And looking at the rotation and velocity from it, incredible. Right over top of Trio. If you're watching us along Highway 82 in Trio right now, it is right over top of you. Again, we have the reds and greens right next to each other, but the best way to showcase this at home is that. Just looking at a debris signature. Again, the storm's kind of beyond that at this point, but nonetheless, though, that is where it's going to be. This is just a snapshot. This storm is moving at 50 miles per hour. So again, this is a fast-moving tornado here and supercell thunderstorm. We'll be quickly crossing over Highway 82. Let me kind of zoom more into this area. And again, if you're on any of these roads, County Road 29, Bibb County Road 29, that is, Highway 82, Hill Creek, Deer Creek Road, Active Road here, over toward County Road 20, Antioch Road, that is what we're talking about. There's a live look at Montevallo, so this is just north of the supercell thunderstorm producing this tornado here. There's that Highway 25, and probably that's if we're in the Montevallo area. But nonetheless, though, that is just to the north. We have a crew that's waiting to see what the storm does. We'll go in behind it to let us know what kind of damage, if we have some at this point when it gets to it. Likely, there is some here in southern part of Bibb County now. And look at that. It just continues to intensify here. Again, this is what the Weather Service here has called a PDS with a tornado warning. Usually you hear that with tornado watches, but this is a particularly dangerous situation. A large, it's confirmed tornado here in southern part of Bibb County right now, just south of Trio. Again, County Road 29, if you're watching us from there, Hill Creek, Highway 82 between Trio and Maud, an active area there, Deer Creek Road, County Road 20 at this point, Antioch Road. You're all in the path of this tornado, so you need to be in your safe place. If you're in a mobile home and you're downwind of it over into parts there at Chilton County, get out, get in a safe place, get to a storm shelter, get somewhere where you can be, especially below ground, someplace that's sturdy and safe in the lowest level of a home or building, because this is a confirmed tornado, likely a large tornado, and a persistent tornado too. We've been tracking this one for well over the last hour or two as it continues this track here, working its way on into parts there of southern part of Bibb County. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit and show you where that tornado is right here. Elsewhere we have severe thunderstorm warnings up to parts of Shelby County, into parts of St. Clair County, and now into Talladega County out there. That is because we also have these storms building on in that are producing some hail. Now, that storm actually is kind of looking a little interesting now as it works its way out of Shelby County through Vincent, Logan Martin Dam area. We're talking to you. Heavy rain and hail with this one. Then go ahead and look at some velocity on here. We've seen some of these storms trying to rotate. This is not showing anything, which is good at this point, but it is moving to an area that has not had any rain or any storms at all for the day today, and that is concerning because these storms have fuel that has not been tapped into yet, meaning there's not been any storms here to rob some of the energy from the atmosphere. We always talked about eastern and southeastern Alabama would have a better chance of seeing severe weather today too, because you're going to take longer for this line to move in, and that line is starting to move in. So if you're watching us in Pell City, heavy rain for you, back to Lincoln, to Talladega, the city of, over toward the racetrack as well, Logan Martin Dam there, of course the Coosa River area there, heavy rain, Vincent, Harpersville, just north of Childersburg. That intense storm is continuing to work its way closer into your region, and will do so here over the next, say, 10, 20, 15 minutes or so from that point. But we're still watching that storm in supercell to the south. That one is, again, in Bibb County, Brent area. You're fine with this, but again, still watching this one here. And again, one last look here. There you see it. This is the tornado right here. That is this tornado. It's southern part of Bibb County and eventually working its way, potentially, if it holds together, into Chilton County over the next 20 to 30 minutes. So we're going to continue watching this one here and give you as much as we can information as we get it into the newsroom. Michael?
Well, Dave, of course, we're live right here on CBS 42, also live right now on Talk 99.5 FM, our radio partner. So if you're joining us, hopefully you are on the radio, not able to watch on TV. We're here for you on multiple platforms. So we continue to monitor this large damaging tornado now moving through the southern part of Bibb County, east of Brent. So at the moment, still remaining your safe place in Brent, just as a course of least regret. But this is mainly for the eastern part of Bibb County and the northern part of Chilton County. Clanton, you are not under this tornado warning, but do not travel along I-65 north of Clanton and south of Alabaster, because this likely tornado, this large long track damaging tornado moving through the southeast part of Bibb County as we speak. And as David mentioned, the northeast part of Alabama, we'll say along and north of Interstate 20, east of I-65 from Pell City back over to Gadsden, Anniston, down to Oxford. The environment is still fairly untapped, but the overall instability levels are a bit lower. We have dew points down in the 50s rather than the 60s. So you are not out of the woods by any stretch. It's just that the southern end of this, under the greatest risk for these large long-track tornadoes, and we certainly have one going on right now. So in Bibb County, you have to remain in your safe place. The smallest room, the lowest floor, away from all windows in Bibb County, east of Brent, the northern part of Chilton County, Thorsby, Jemison, along I-65, around Lake Mitchell, under a tornado warning. This tornado technically not into Chilton County yet, but over the next about 5 to 10 minutes, this is moving at 55 miles per hour now. So the forward speed has increased just a bit, 55 miles per hour. This tornado will soon cross into the western part of Chilton County. So if you know anyone driving along I-65, if you are driving, listening to us on 99.5 right now, you need to get to a safe place. Do not travel into Chilton County along I-65. I cannot emphasize that enough. Hopefully this tornado will weaken before it reaches I-65. That's a possibility, but we have to assume that it will not. So you have to be in your safe place right now. At Jemison, Thorsby, north of Clanton along I-65, the eastern part of Bibb County now. So the National Weather Service continuing this tornado warning. This is the latest statement coming in right now as I speak for Chilton County. This tornado warning until 12:30. As of 11:50, a confirmed tornado was located near the Talladega National Forest. That's about 11 miles east of Centerville there in Bibb County, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So it's moving around 50 to 55 miles per hour. This tornado warning continuing now for Chilton County until 12:30. And, of course, the tornado warning over the eastern part now of Bibb County. So you have to be in your safe place, and if you know anybody that is possibly busy today, not paying attention to the weather, please give them a call. Let them know what's happening there in Chilton County. Farther to the north, in Shelby County, from Vincent and then back into St. Clair County, we do have this thunderstorm in the northern part of Talladega County as well, from Talladega back up toward Mumford. This is a severe thunderstorm warning due to the possibility for some damaging straight-line wind and large hail. We've had confirmed large hail from this exact same thunderstorm as it moved through with Chelsea just a little while ago, passing over Highway 280. As of right now, the eastern part of Alabama, Anniston, Calhoun County, not under a warning, but if this storm holds together, you possibly will do so. So the tornado warning right now, the reason we're with you, this is a dangerous situation. In the eastern part of Bibb County, the northern part of Chilton County, Thorsby, Jemison, north of Clanton. So along I-65, Highway 31, please do not travel within this area as this tornado will continue to move in your direction. Here's a live view of I-65 as we speak in Chilton County, and certainly some ominous-looking clouds on the horizon, possibly a sign of what's to come. Okay, so this is Jemison Wilson Road. There's the overpass right there. Too many folks driving on I-65 right now, and that's my concern. If this tornado holds together, it will cross over I-65 within the next about 25 to 30 minutes. So please, no travel along I-65. And you see that overpass, we do not want you, there's a kind of a myth that if there's a tornado moving in your direction and you're on the road as the least regret or the last resource, is to get under an overpass. That's very dangerous because of the funneling effect. It's not true. That's not a good place to go. But don't put yourself in that situation. Stay off of I-65 in the northern part of Chilton County, north of Clanton, as the storm will continue to press in that direction, Ashley.
All right, thanks, Michael. All right, here's the latest on what we're seeing, kind of monitoring our chat with the National Weather Service, plus looking at this debris indicator. It's still holding together, so this is absolutely cause for concern. We want to make sure that everyone from Bibb County through northern Chilton County is staying in their safe place. My hope is you're already there and you're writing this thing out. We want to make sure that you are putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Go to the lowest floor of your house and try your best to get to a site-built structure. It doesn't have to have a basement. We're just asking you to get out of any type of manufactured buildings or mobile homes at this point. So next up down the road will be Campbell, Jemison, Thorsby, and Ocampo, Highway 31, I-65. You are all going to be kind of in this area that we're going to be tracking very closely. So that's something that's important for us to note right now. The area that we're really focused on currently is between Antioch and Active. This is heading right over Randolph, likely getting some hail out of this storm too, between Bibb Mill and Randolph. And this is some live video currently, and we are going to continue monitoring the situation. Lots of damage reports across all of west and kind of central west Alabama at this point, so we're monitoring all of our calls for damage at this point. Bibb Mill, Randolph, Posey, Crossroad, Campbell, get to your safe place. Anywhere along Highway 191 over towards Jemison, up towards Wessington, Ocampo, get to your safe place. Collins Chapel along I-65, Jumbo, Wildwood Shores, get to your safe place. But right now, this storm is crossing just to the north of Randolph, between Randolph and Bibb Mill. What we're looking at on our debris indicator currently, this green dot that you see on your screen, this is what's verifying the tornado on the ground. So we look at this debris signature as one of those identifiers on all of our radar products that we have. So right now, this storm system is currently between Randolph and Bibb Mill. It's heading right towards Posey's Crossroad and Pleasant Grove. That's going to be in the western, northwestern corner of Chilton County. So this is going to stay in Chilton County right now, really kind of hugging that Shelby County, Chilton County line. So we want folks to make sure that they are getting to their safe place at this point. And this is a serious situation, as we kind of mentioned before. So so heads up there as far as this storm system goes. All right, so let's do this. When we got hit by lightning a minute ago, it knocked our tracker off. So I'm going to have to reset that here in just a little bit. So for right now, I am going to manually have to click through this until we can get that restored. But for now, I want to show you our storm relative velocity, because currently what we're looking at is this kind of area of rotation. And again, this is going to be between Posey's Crossroad and Bibb Mill, crossing over State Route 139 at this time. And we'll go ahead and send it over to you, Dave.
Yeah, lightning, it plays a toll on TV stations, doesn't it? And for many of you at home, too, we've gotten some reports of some lightning striking some things as well around town. There is an intense amount of lightning. Let me go ahead and turn that on, speaking of which, and you can see here some of the big areas we're watching here coming on into parts there of, say, St. Clair County, on into Shelby County, and Talladega County here, also back over toward Bibb County, and now on into Chilton County, that other supercell we're watching with those tornado warnings. Intense amount of lightning out there, just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. We're talking about 500, 600 strikes just in the last 20, 30 minutes or so. So that's an intense amount of lightning continuing across the region here. I'll go ahead and turn that off and show you that we still have that tornado warning. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning up there for Talladega County, heading into southern part of St. Clair County, and kind of just outside now, a very eastern edge there of Shelby County. But still watching our storm to the south. I do see some good news, though, with this one. Still looking very impressive on the radar presentation of it. Heavy rain, hail from Calera, Ocampo, Wilton, Ashby area there, back toward Bibb Mills, and that is where we still have the threat for, again, this tornado. So you still need to take your tornado precautions. The rotation there kind of working its way out of Bibb County on into parts there of Chilton County at this time. But as Ashley was showing earlier, we still, again, have that, but just south of Bibb Mill here, that tornado. That is what we're looking at here as we continue to watch this one move on in. Just, again, still in Bibb County, about to cross over on into Chilton County. It's fortunately not as impressive looking, but it's still there. So we still could have that dangerous tornado still producing significant damage across part there. We saw Bibb County and potentially on into, say, Chilton County, if it holds together here. Right now it's weakening. Sometimes, though, when you see a system like this, it can kind of go through a cycle where it gets really intense. It only holds the intensity intensity for so long, and then the intensity kind of falls apart. But it can get rejuvenated again. And that is something I'm watching because as where it's moving, Chilton County, Coosa County, Tallapoosa County, Southern Talladega counties, they haven't had much rain in those areas at all. So it's really warm. It's really humid out there, and that's something that's going to be fuel for these thunderstorms here moving forward as we go on into parts of eastern and southeastern, part of the viewing area here from Alex City, Lake Martin area there, heading back toward Anniston. So we're watching the one storm in the Talladega area there, and of course this other one as well too. I want to show you though a couple other things, just kind of give you an idea of how warm and humid it is here. Right now it's 63, temperature 57, so it's dropping here, but dew points around 60, Talladega, Alex City, 71 degrees down there. That's concerning because when these storms get down to that location, that is a lot of energy and fuel for them. And so that's something we'll definitely be watching here. So we're still going to be dealing with this. As mentioned, the tornado watch again's been trimmed back. Birmingham no longer in it, but Greensboro, Brent, Alabaster, Gadsden, basically south of Interstate 5920 is still in that tornado watch that goes until 1 o'clock this afternoon. They'll likely extend that one as well, too, because we're already at 12 noon right now. It is 12 noon, so if you're heading out to lunch hour here in Birmingham, the weather's improving, but points to the south, we still have to be dealing with what we're talking about here. So again, still need to be weather aware out there today till 4 o'clock. Now, again, there's areas that just said you're not in the tornado watch. You don't need to be weather aware. The rest of us, yes, strong winds, few tornadoes out there, heavy rain, and also some hail we're talking about here, maybe 1 inch or larger as well, too. There's a live look at Bibb County right now and kind of give you an idea of what we have down there. It looks like they're going through a damage area potentially. It does show again very wet, very rainy. Potentially, let's see a lot of trees missing there. I don't know if that's from I hate to say it, an old tornado, but that's moved through that region though. But you can see the road looks pretty clear at this point over there in Bibb County. Do you know what road they're on by chance? If you do, just let me know. But you can see here heavy rain. It looks like everything tree-wise is standing there at this location. But as we go on in throughout the rest of the day today, we're going to get down to those locations that the tornado has moved through. Already got reports there back in Eutaw. Again, I hate this. It's heartbreaking. Eutaw hit again with that another tornado. Just most recently had one, and then we have to deal with another one down there across part of Greene and Hale counties there. Greensboro hit with a tornado earlier today. Also up in Winston County, we had reports of a tornado up there, and we're still watching that one now. The Bibb County tornado warning has been now at least expired, and actually we do still have one here for Chilton County.
All right, thanks, Dave. Want to do a quick reset and recap of this line of thunderstorms that we've been monitoring all day. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Talladega County. It does include that I-20 corridor south towards Talladega and right over Logan Martin Lake at this time. Again, a lot of lightning. We've kind of been turning this on and off throughout the day. So what we're going to monitor here is the chance for seeing some of these storms kind of pulse up with quite a bit of lightning. So the good news for us is that there's really only a limited area that's seeing some of that spin in the atmosphere. But what's important to note is these storms do spin up. They have been spinning up quite quickly. So currently right now, I will say this, okay, I think since the lightning strike, our hand tracker is just, I just don't think it's going to be working right now. I've reset the computer. We do have engineers here looking at it, so that's good. But there's a disconnect between the camera and the upstairs. But for now, here's what we're looking at. So this is our tornado warning. This is where we have our confirmed tornado warning for northern Chilton County. So it does include Jemison, Rocky Mount, Ocampo, Highway 31, I-65, Jumbo to Wildwood Shores. And we will be monitoring this very closely as we move through the early afternoon. The time right now is 12:02. We've been on air with these storms since around 8 o'clock this morning. So we are watching this particular storm. It's just now moving into western Chilton County. I will say this circulation has been broadening out over the last couple of scans. So that's kind of welcome news right now because we are seeing a bit more broadening here, but there is still going to be quite a bit of wind as this moves through too. Look at the shear rate though. I want to point this out. Where we're seeing these maroons on your screen, that would be these are severe winds, but we are talking high rate of speed for these severe winds. And once we start to enter into this yellow, that becomes extreme. So this is near Wessington and Center Hill. And we also sometimes look for what we call an S shape on on this screen, it's not really making that. This is much more linear, but that still would indicate some very strong winds from Posey's Crossroad, Center Hill, Wessington up towards Ocampo. Severe winds moving straight towards that Highway 31 corridor right now. So Jemison, you're about to get a blast of rain and some very strong winds all the way down through Thorsby, Rocky Mountain to Collins Chapel. How about we zoom out? Let's put a track on that. We can actually do kind of a fan, and we can track. Yeah, there we go. So we'll track that path there. And this is moving at about 50 miles. What was it, the latest? 45, I think, 40 to 50 miles per hour. All right, so here's some cities of impact over the next, say, 10 to 15 minutes. So Jemison at 12:08. There's Jemison right there on Highway 31. Next up, you have Rocky Mount. That'll be 12:09. Mineral Springs at 12:18. Wildwood Shores at 12:20. And then Jumbo at 12:22. So anywhere along Highway 145 here. And then again, I-65, Highway 31, Highway 191. We're in the northernmost part of Chilton County. And so if you see your city name on the screen, get to your safe place right away. And revisiting that, the safest place you can be is on the lowest floor of your building or home, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And also, we want you to get out of any type of manufactured housing. If you're east of I-65, you've got enough time to do that right now. The closer you are to this storm, the less time you have. I'm not going to encourage that. But look at how that's bowing out right there, Dave. Isn't that impressive? That is going to be a force of wind. Even though, I mean, I don't know about you, Dave. I'm seeing that we're losing a little bit of the spin, but we're now turning this into a really big wind event, anywhere from South Calera just outside of Jemison. So
as long as this doesn't start to cycle back up again,
and which it could, and that's a very good point. So we'll need to make sure to keep a watch.
There's nothing out ahead of that to stop it at this point.
And that is what we have been talking a lot about this morning. This is just untapped energy out ahead of the storm system. We didn't have the morning rain. We didn't have anything to really stabilize the atmosphere. So this is all untapped energy. And as we were looking at our instability values in the state are highest the further south you go, kind of starting in Montgomery, working their way up towards Alexander City, kind of a sweet spot in the atmosphere. As you move north, not as much. And this is the jet stream, this lower level jet. This is feeding that system. So you've got winds out of the south, and those are going to be bringing in that Gulf moisture, that kind of energy that we need. And in the upper levels, you have winds that are spinning. They're going in a different direction. So it's changing the shear. It's changing not only the speed, but also the direction. And that's what creates kind of this spin. It's like a top. And so you've got winds at the lower level moving in one direction, and then you have winds at the upper level moving in the opposite direction. So naturally, that's going to create opportunities for this wind to kind of spin. And that blue that you saw, that was where the instability is right now. Now we can I do want to just mention some cities that are safe for the rest of the day. You're in the clear. Aniana, Coleman, Jasper, Double Springs, Hamilton, all the way down to Fayette, Berry, Reform, Gordo, and Tuscaloosa. You are in the clear. Really no more real threat for rain. Could see just a couple of pop-up showers. That's where that actual front is, but no more severe weather. Rest easy for the rest of the day. And really the northern and northwest half of Jefferson County is in the clear. And at this point, all that's left in the Birmingham metro is some rain. The severe elements have moved out, and most of the stormy activity is now going to be east, well east of I-65. And right now, heavy rainfall from Hoover, Homewood, Birmingham, but non-severe. And again, along Highway 280 there, some heavier rainfall from Wilsonsville, Childersburg, over towards Lincoln. That's where we still have the severe thunderstorm warning, is in the northern part of Talladega County, up through Lincoln, and then just south of Ragland. But look at the heavy rainfall from Ragland to Ohatchee. But even back behind that, Cook Springs, you're good. You got some rain. Springville's wet, but the severe elements are gone. But leading up to that, Oxford and Anniston, and we can actually turn on our Anniston tower cam. Let's see if those storms are moving in. Look at that. So we can definitely see that rain approaching the camera here in Anniston, probably getting some light showers on the western side of Calhoun County. So this is at Blue Mountain. This is a little outside of Anniston, so not necessarily downtown, but a good view and a vantage point of the skies right now. So a very cloudy sky there in Anniston. You can actually see the movement, and this is that lower level jet that we talk about. So you can actually see the clouds moving. Look at the top of your screen right now, and you can just see how the clouds are moving on this jet stream. It's just the wind is carrying these clouds. So we'll have that rain moving in. Right now, we don't have any severe weather in Anniston, but we do have storms that are approaching Oxford and Anniston along Interstate 20. So be careful. Be careful if you're driving. And with these wind speeds, too, we want to make sure that any big rigs or 18-wheelers are very careful. The wind can grab the top of those trucks and easily start to maneuver those trucks on the interstate. So if you would, maybe bear in mind, give it just a few minutes until it passes. There's plenty of great places to stop along I-20 there, from Buc-ee's to Love's. So you got plenty of places that you can stop and just ride out this storm. These are not long-lived. All in all, where we're seeing the force is going to be on that leading edge. May last you about 30 minutes or so. And we have some feathered friends here watching the storms with us. And we even have some slivers of sunshine. Okay, let's orient ourselves here. So this is going to be looking due, this is east, I believe. So this would be looking east, and so now we're seeing some even breaks in the clouds. Look how cool that is, but you can really see that cloud, and now as we're panning back towards the west, look how the sky is just growing increasingly gray and ominous there. So we've got some heavy rainfall off in the distance. That heavy rain is approaching, and if you were with us a couple of hours ago, we watched a very similar scene on our Tuscaloosa tower cam, and we watched that water just advance and limit our visibility so much so it covered up our visibility. We could see Bryant-Denny Stadium, clear as day, and then that rain just covered it up. So that's where that heavy rain is moving in. Even seeing some a Boeing feature there near Anniston Army Depot, which would indicate some strong winds in that area. Looks like they just extended that severe thunderstorm warning, as a matter of fact. So that's exactly where we were just talking about there in Anniston, between Anniston and Oxford, up towards Sachs and Weaver, and then over towards Burns, Oak Level, Coldwater, Fruithurst, and over into Heflin, Choccolocca, and Joseph Springs. If you're in any of those cities that I just named, I would just take caution. You don't have to treat this just like a tornado warning, but you may want to just treat it somewhat like it stay inside. This is not something where it's the best time to head out to the grocery store, let's say. So make good choices and let's stay safe, folks. We need to try to avoid being outside, especially on the roadways. We were actually, when we were talking with Alex earlier, you could hear the hailstones, and it actually looks like there's probably a hail core in this storm system right over I-20 right now in Lincoln. I mean, visibility is probably zero over Interstate 20 currently between Bynum and Lincoln, and that's moving towards Mumford. And so right inside that purple, there's a black dot there, likely getting some hailstones. Wonder if we can flip our hail tracker on. And you know what? We could probably slice through the storm and get the 3D volume scan. But clearly there's been history here of this storm system producing some not only heavy rainfall, but this hail all the way back into Shelby County. And we did get reports of some golf ball sized hail and nickel to quarter sized hail. So this is really a situation that's produced pretty much all modes of severe weather, kind of as anticipated. And so what we're looking at now is this heavy rainfall right there along Interstate 20. So yeah, we'll just click on that. Yeah, and we'll slice through that, and let's just see what's going on. And so you remember earlier today I said these are not incredibly tall storms, unlike springtime storms that can get upwards of 30, 40, 50,000 feet in height. These storms, a lot of them are forming on, especially those hail cores, below 20,000 feet. So right now this is the updraft. You see that area of purple there. You can actually see the top. You see how the top of that thunderstorm just kind of ends at 30,000 feet there. So you've got that updraft moving in. And so what we look for are those black dots kind of embedded in here. So we're seeing some purple. That would indicate maybe some small hail, but usually it's those black dots that would indicate and verify that there's hail in there. And then we see if that is extending all the way to Earth's surface to see if that hail is actually falling all the way to the ground. So